we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
But you guys are doing major things. We got Sin on 6 players in here. So you guys are doing shows, having fun out in the world, getting it in. Tell us a little bit about the band and what you guys do.
So to go a little bit further back, Randy and I have been in bands together, well, since I was 16. Formed a little band, and then I would blow up and not do anything, and then get back together.
So you two were like the original like jam band together for Sin on 6.
No, actually.
Okay.
No, we actually didn't play together for years and years.
You were just knew each other. You weren't jamming together.
Yeah, we played in a bunch of bands together way back when.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sin on 6 started with him, another gentleman named Leroy, who was a guitar player, and then they had another drummer named Jason, and then the previous bass player. By the time they got to me, it was just Leroy and the other bass player. Leroy left. We decided not to get another guitar player because Randy holds it down by himself pretty dang well. And then eventually we got Pete and Ray, or Ray then Pete, and stuff clicked. Started picking up a little steam here and there. Myself, I've been playing in the Denver community for
and
about 20
you're a
years.
drummer.
I am a drummer.
Okay, so
yeah.
you're the drummer, the tempo man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'm the boom chick guy. You know, I'm not all about like the speed metal or whatever you want to call it.
It's really more crash boom.
Crash boom. Yeah.
And you do it very well. Yeah.
So I gained a lot more connections with playing in different bands and stuff like that. So when it came time for Randy and I to start jamming together again, and especially with Sin on 6, I was able to incorporate that stuff that I'd learned from the previous bands and stuff. So
Nice.
Yeah, so we ran into each other at a Flotsam and Jetsam show at Herman's Hideaway.
in 2019.
And I was like, dude, you know, let's do this. Let's jam. Let's see what happens.
That was when you guys decided, like, let's put the pen to the paper. Let's get the music moving.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right? Yeah.
That's cool.
So we rented a space at, I think, Rocket Space.
Right.
And he played, and it was like, yeah.
You knew then.
That's what we were missing.
That's a good feeling, man. When you can vibe and get that feeling, especially on those like initial. And I only played for a little bit, so I don't have a lot of experience in music. Pete and I played together for about a year, so that's how Pete and I know each other.
Nice.
And we'll talk about that when he's on. But you know, it's always like that weird position where you're like in an audition mode, but also still trying to be you and showcase like what you're happy with, but also trying to please the guys you're around. You know, that's kind of what I felt in my short time in the music scene of trying to showcase your talent, but also this is the band I'm either applying for, trying out for,
And it is hard, like, to find those personalities you want to be stuck in this weird relationship. You know, I've tried to explain it to my wife. She's like, what's the big deal about your bandmates? She's like, you see him like once or twice a week. You guys are always chatting. What's the deal? And you build this weird relationship. It's
true.
And unless you're like, it's like you guys probably have this weird relationship
Yes.
that you can't, tell your SOs or whatever about, and they don't understand it because they're not doing it. You know,
Right, yeah, 100%.
All they see is what you're doing on stage, and they think that you're just messing around at practice.
Correct.
But it's
Nailed it.
you're building this weird relationship that I've been jamming with Randy off and on to the point where all I have to do is look at him, and I
Such a
know
good
where
feeling.
he's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if he's having whatever type of day, I'd look at him and you just know he's having that kind of day.
Right.
And Ray and Pete are the same way. Like, I mean, you just saw it. We were trying to play rock, paper, scissors, and how many series did you have to get through to find a winner?
Yeah.
And
you guys were all choosing the same shit.
Yeah,
you guys were all choosing the same shit.
and it makes it easy to write music that way as well. So
yeah,
That's a dynamic. It's because you can put some of the best musicians together, and they're not going to click.
Right.
I don't have to tell you guys. You've been playing a hell of a lot longer than I have. So, that dynamic, and you're right, it is a relationship because there's a lot of passion behind it too. I want this bridge to sound this way, or let's play this out another 4 bars, whatever. That's going to test a lot of patience of musicians for sure.
Right.
And it just sometimes doesn't work out, obviously.
Right. I'm very privileged. I mean, he's a badass guitar player. And
He
then
is.
and then you add Pete in there. I mean, you've played with Pete.
Pete's amazing.
You're like,
He sure is.
Hell
You're
of a
like-
bass player.
Yeah.
where did that come from? Like, we didn't know exactly what Pete was playing
Yeah.
in some songs until we actually went to the studio, and we were like,
Holy
shit.
what?
Like, you're playing that?
He's epic.
That's epic.
Yeah.
He's an
like-
amazing player.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, wow.
is.
Like,
So how long have you been playing guitar then, Randy?
Well, since I was about 14,
Okay.
long.
So
Long
when
time.
when was it? What was it that like was that moment when you're like, man, were you listening to some rock and roll? Like, did you watch a movie or something? You're like, man, I got to do that.
So yeah, it was Led Zeppelin. The song remains the same.
Okay.
I saw it over and over and over. Like when I was 13, I went to the midnight movies and saw it. And I was like, that's what I want to do.
That's when it clicked.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always that aha moment, I feel like, for most musicians. Some are just born with it, whether they came from it being in their family and they just grew up around it. But there's always that aha moment.
Yeah, so like
And-
Jimmy Page was a huge influence
Jimmy Page.
on me, as sloppy as he was. That movie was amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I actually started off playing drums,
Oh, really? Okay.
5th grade. Then I switched to guitar. I was in bands with my cousin, 13, 14. I played in a country and 50s rock and roll band when I was 16 years old. We played bars. I had a work permit. Yes, I've been doing this a long time. Yeah.
That's epic.
Sounds like a lot of fun. That's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, when you find kind of something that makes you happy, and you recognize that and start pursuing that, then your life will be filled with fruit that is tasty to you. Opposed to like you're working for the wrong reasons. You're just chasing a paycheck. Like you're not enjoying your day. And sure, like all of us probably have day jobs and other things because the hobbies don't always pay the bills.
right.
One day they will. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But-
the goal. Maybe, hopefully.
yeah, it's kind of fun though, man, and chasing and trying to pursue something that is a creative niche, like because we're all creators in this room. Like we all want to put something together. We've all had that moment where, wow, that sounded really good.
Right.
Like when we did that, and that is the feeling that keeps me coming back to this room, and I'm sure that's what keeps you coming back to recording with each other.
Yeah. What we have is magic. Pure
Literally.
magic. Best band I've ever been in my life.
That's so cool, man. That's exciting to hear because I've heard some horror stories from bands where it's like, fuck this guy. This, so much pride and passion gets in the way of creativity. And that's cool that you guys have 4 guys that are on the same level, willing to work together, commit, because commitment's a big thing too, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone's
Yeah.
got wives, kids, families, whatever's going on. You got to balance all that with this project that everybody's equally invested in and passionate about. So it takes that strong commitment for sure.
So how often are you guys practicing?
1 to 2 times a week.
Okay. I mean, that's still a commitment.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, yeah.
Major. Getting
Yeah.
4 people together?
Absolutely. I mean, we were able to come up with, a day that just works for everybody, and we landed on the perfect spot. Where
We have a great practice space.
your creativity just comes out and stuff. We got our spot, on a whim, and it happened to work out. So we don't have to do the hourly practice spots to where
Okay.
you're like forced to you have 2 hours and that's it. Like,
Puts
Yeah.
the pressure on.
yeah, we can get there early, late. We have 24-hour access. So if you're having a bad night with your SO, you have a place to go to, decompress.
Sounds like this room.
I'll put this out here. I haven't mentioned this on the podcast yet, but
I'm probably going to echo what you're about to
the
say.
day before I exited my toxic relationship, I slept in this studio the night before the day that I left. So I totally agree with that, man. Sometimes you need that space. And when you go, when I walk into this room, when I walk into this building, I feel the energy. I smile when I walk into the building because it has that love there. It has everything that Kevin and I have built here. And
Right.
it's like such a great energy. And so, like, it's relieving, and not even just to escape the SO, but just to come and experience this room and be a part of the project, a part of the challenge. Like, man, it's just so much fun.
Oh yeah, and when we explain to people where we practice, they're like, "What? Really?
Where do you practice?
We practice over by Dove Valley.
Okay.
It's pretty much a secret space.
Undisclosed location.
It
Yeah.
is.
We call it Area 53.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
That's as much as we talk about that location.
Right. So like
Specifically.
it's super secure. It's gated. You need to put your palm on the door to actually get in for it to unlock.
You guys are legit.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's a great room.
That's tremendous.
Soundproof.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna have to come over there and drink a beer and watch you guys jam one time.
Yeah,
Oh,
can we?
absolutely. Yeah.
Can
Great place to do it.
DCPC show up?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we're down. What
Hell yeah.
nights do you guys
Hell
practice?
yeah.
Shoot some
Wednesdays?
practice footage.
Oh, Wednesdays.
Oh,
God
so the
damn
same night
it.
we're doing this.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
So I have a question. Who is usually the first to arrive out of the four of you guys? Who's there the earliest? Who stays the latest? Or is it just kind of a random draw?
Well, I make fun of him. I call it Randy After Dark because he will stay at the practice space until the wee hours of night after we're done practicing. And he will do his own like makeshift karaoke or
Hell yeah.
like
It's a great space. It's a great place, a great environment.
it is.
I love being there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hear
Pete,
you.
it's a toss up between like Pete and Randy, who's there
Yeah,
first.
usually. Yeah.
Now that Pete has relocated,
Yep.
he's like 5 minutes
Super
away.
close.
Like if he wanted to, he could probably walk to the
Okay.
space.
Yeah. Super
Yeah.
convenient.
That's awesome.
Right. So Ray is normally the last one in the building.
He was the last one here tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
And that's pretty, you guys don't seem real surprised by that.
When he comes in,
No.
he comes in, we're gonna give him shit about that.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, all y'all, we're doing two and two. So we have 4 band members on here tonight.
Yep.
And we're doing 2 at a time, and then we're gonna bring them all in at the end and kind of hang out. So we got 2 people waiting for us, just for everybody, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah, and if you're just listening, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Go to YouTube and watch this stuff because it's great. But yeah, keeping the ball rolling, man. I was fortunate enough to see the first time I saw you guys play was October 2nd or 1st. First. Watch you guys open up for Texas Hippie, and I was like immediately throttled just by the energy you guys brought to the stage. You know, because Pete was like, "Hey man, you know, here's my new band. Come check us out." First time I heard a Sin on 6. I was instantly sold. I mean, as a music fan, I was into it. You guys crushed it. The crowd was into it. Epic energy for sure. So, speaking from someone that's seen it, I think you guys have something for sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely.
You know, we're not the heaviest band, but we're definitely not the rock. A lot of times people are like, "How do you describe yourselves?" And we're definitely hard rock with elements of like metal and groove in there.
Oh yeah, I was listening to some. Kevin was playing it before y'all all arrived.
We were watching one of your music videos.
And
yeah,
it
that
was
was cool.
it was great, man. Like I thought everything sounded good, everything was hitting, you know, and like way to represent. I mean, I'm from Colorado, so way to represent the state and like have some solid music that people can like really relate to and jam out to, man. Because you could tell that there's passion there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Huge
And-
passion, yeah. You know, I think we sound fresh to people because we have a few elements of new metal in there as well. So, you know, that was popular how long ago? So now you bring it in now and it's like, oh, this is weird. This is new. This is fresh. We like this.
Yeah. So
You know, we bring in our old school influences too, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, you know, Pantera, stuff like that.
Sure. And then you kind of
And
make it your own.
works. It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
It works awesome.
And everyone's in agreement. You know, it's not like, okay, I'm just going to play this because I'm outnumbered here. It sounds like everyone, it's, you know, a democracy, so to speak, as it has to be in a band.
Absolutely.
If someone says, no, fuck that, you know, you guys are like, okay, well, let's rerun it. We'll run another play.
right.
That's
absolutely.
how it has to be.
Yeah. And for example, like we've tossed around like cover songs, and if we can't all agree to it, we just don't do it because if you can't put your passion behind it,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Well, so I asked Randy this, so it only makes sense. So what got you into drumming then? Did you start on another instrument as well? Like what was your inspiration? Like what got you into the?
so for me. I wanted to be cool. That was
To get chicks.
to get chicks.
That's
you know.
honest.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you. for
right.
that.
My dad was a drummer. My grandfather was a drummer.
All right.
I didn't start playing drums until middle school, and it wasn't anything serious. They start you off on the xylophone, and then you have to work your way to the snare. And I'm very uncoordinated. I'm left-handed, but I play right-handed.
Ambidextrous.
Me too.
Sort of.
Really?
Okay.
You both are ambidextrous playing style?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never really took any lessons. You know, I just wanted to bang on stuff. And then Randy was in my actual first band with me, and I was like, this is kind of cool. But I didn't know the next steps to take.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to get better at it, to take those next steps. And I'm still, I mean, there's like 6-year-old prog people on YouTube. It looks like their parents probably beat them or put them in a closet and made them play 16 hours to get, you know, you're like, you're 6 and playing Mike Portnoy stuff. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that wasn't me. I was like too lazy. I didn't want to go take lessons or whatever. And there's a lot of people that are better than I am, but I just,
See, but you do it because you love it. It's not
Absolutely.
So much, yeah. And that I think speaks more to the art of music. When you love what you're doing, you're not forced into doing it. Like you just mentioned, you know, sure there might be people that are more talented or whatever, but that's not the goal here. The goal is to enjoy your time, is to put your creative work
Right.
together and collaborate with great musicians.
well, and the thing is,
Yeah.
like, when we talk about it all the time, like, if you're going to go see a band like Dream Theater or Rush,
Epic.
you know, you're more than likely a musician. Because you're like, well, that guy's playing an off-time signature of this, this, and that. A normal person, if they can't get into it in the first 30 seconds, you're done. Like, if they can't understand what you're saying, if they can't groove with you or get that feeling, you're just done. And then it doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah, the first time I saw Rush, I was blown away. Red Rocks. It was one of the first concerts I saw when I moved out here, 2007. And
Oh, nice.
that's a show worth seeing. I'm sure you guys have both seen Rush, for sure.
I've seen Rush a
I
couple
only
times.
saw them once,
Really?
believe it or not, and that was their last tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was that then?
2018, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And
yeah.
that was at Pepsi Center.
Okay. Big arena show.
Amazing.
Epic.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
amazing. And we were like 10th row, and it was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rush
yeah.
puts it on for sure.
No, I mean, look, if you're not showing up every single week and trying to do something, then you're not doing nothing. And I liked I liked how you mentioned that you participate in doing drums, but you're not the best, right? And
Right.
and I think that's a humble place to be, because there's always something to learn. And the moment that you look at yourself like, man, I'm at the pinnacle, like, you can't get any higher than this, like, this is as good as it gets, and I'm that, like, you cap yourself, because then you're no longer learning from 6th graders that are doing it really, really well.
Right.
So there's that bit of, like, when you're participating with, because it's a collaboration, you guys got to all come together, like, it's not just one person, like, just like Kevin and I, it's both of us in here doing it. It's collaboration, and to stay coachable, and that's how success is made, is to stay humble but also aware that you can improve, right?
Absolutely.
and continue to grow, and that's how the band is going to grow.
Oh, absolutely. And
Absolutely, yeah.
you know, for me, so I couldn't really double bass like, what was it, like a year ago. And then I got a new drum pedal. I started watching some YouTube videos of 6-year-olds. And, you know, am I the best double bass player out there? No, but I can definitely hold my own right now.
Yeah.
You're kicking ass, dude.
So
I mean, you got to practice your craft
you do.
to be good in your craft, and you have to acknowledge that you have room to grow in your craft, to continue to grow in your craft.
Well, repetition is the
Yeah.
mother of skill, as they say, right? And that's why we practice
Right.
two times a week. So when you're ripping your guitar solos, what is it? When do you do like warm ups? Do you do exercises, or is it just muscle memory at this point? Because you've been playing a long time.
It's mostly memory and feel.
Okay. So that's something I always wanted to achieve as a guitar player. I was a very beginner, basic cowboy chord kind of player, just strumming chords, rhythm, basic stuff. I thought it sounded cool. We were able to make something out of it, but I've always admired the ability to just rip a scale. The pentatonic scale is about the only thing I ever got comfortable playing, but I never really knew when to time it, you know. So for me, I knew I wasn't a solo guy. I'll carry a rhythm, you know, and that was kind of where I capped my guitar potential.
Right. You know, some of my favorite guitar players, you know, KK Downing, who just goes for it, doesn't give a shit, and just fucking rocks it.
Just owns it.
That's like one of my biggest influences. That's how I like to play. I like to play by field. A lot of times live, I don't play the same solo twice.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You just kind of play, you just playing by feel, playing
There's
by
a
the energy.
few that are
The
pretty
muscle
basic.
memory, though.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm a rapper, and I have freestyle muscle memory, where it's like I know that these words will rhyme regardless of how I put that sentence together. You know, so it's kind of like that.
Like the filler
sort of
words or the filler chords that you know you can rely on. For me, it was always GCD was always my go-to.
Right.
You know, I would fall into a rut a little bit when I'd get creative in writing. So when you guys write, when you get in that room in that epic place that you can access 24/7 to get away from that SO, you know, that epic creative environment. How do you guys usually write? Is it just jam? Someone will just start playing a riff. You'll just start ripping on a set of tempo, and everyone joins in.
Pretty much.
Nice,
Pretty much the best songs came about just hanging out in the band room.
love it.
I got this riff. I mean, the last song we finished together with Pete, kick ass. It was like, I got this riff, and he's like, hey, I have this riff. Let's put it together. It's like, wait, I have this idea. Let's do that. And it was like almost in the matter of a night. It was like, done.
Right.
Those are the best moments.
One and
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
One in, one out. That's a quick turnaround for sure. But those are when you can capture something epic like that, you know, and you're not forced to write, like you were saying, being forced into a 2-hour environment or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard to create when you're forced to do it.
Yeah, because then you're sitting there thinking, you're thinking about the time,
Right.
Instead of thinking about the music.
Right. And then, you know, when you do the hour spots, like you're stuck playing on their gear, which I love my gear, you know. He loves his stuff, but
Yeah,
when you do
I
the
do.
hourly rental places, you're forced to play through their amps, through their drums. And it's, you know, it might not be the tone that you wanted to put in that song.
It's like driving a rental car. You know, you're like, yeah, I know how to drive it, but it's not my car.
Right.
You got that same kind of feeling. I know what you mean.
Been there.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this crap?
Yeah, what is this? Yeah, no, you're right. Your own equipment is always going to feel better. It's like
So-
sleeping in your own bed.
So are other people recording using the same space, or is that just y'all's?
It's just
They're
ours.
exclusive, but it
It's
sounds
ours.
good.
We do have a band next door to us.
Okay.
Do you guys ever like, hey, come on over, have a beer?
Yeah, yeah. We're
Yeah.
we're all buddies.
Yeah,
Nice,
the
nice.
the drummer of the band next door is actually my cousin. So
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
they're
family.
called
It's a
slings.
family.
yeah,
What are they called?
Sling Fist.
Sling Fist?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's a badass drum, like a badass.
Melvin
thrash.
kicks ass.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
he does.
crazy.
They're a great band.
Wow. I want to check out this jam spot you guys got in this
Yeah,
undisclosed
I-
location.
Come on
Yeah,
out.
I want
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah,
I want
no,
to
we're
see this
down.
shit too. You got to
That'd be
see
fun.
our studio.
I love watching bands
Come
jam.
on now.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I think I have more fun watching bands practice than sometimes than performing, you know, especially once you know them a little bit. You've seen them perform now. It's like, let's watch these guys collaborate behind the scenes, see the magic come together, see beer cans get thrown against the wall, which doesn't sound like happens much with your group.
No, but the trash can gets full quickly.
Yes.
It doesn't.
come on
it
out.
doesn't here too. Yeah, we'd love to come out, man.
You know,
That'd be fun.
practice is a whole different thing than playing live.
Yeah,
You know.
a lot more freedom.
Yeah.
You're not quite as tight to the set.
Yeah.
I think would you guys play about 6 or 7 songs during that set?
Yeah,
I watched
think
you guys.
6. Yeah.
It was good
It
stuff,
was a
man.
short set.
Yeah.
You guys rocked it for sure.
We'll take
I mean that's a good sweet set though. Like you don't have to draw it out too much. Just put your biggest bangers in there.
Yeah, just boom, boom, you're done.
Yeah, and then you know get some new people that are interested. I'm sure every
Right.
single time that you go out and do it.
True.
Yes.
That's true. We make new fans every time we play up.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's funny because we have this. We redid the cover of Simple Minds' "Don't You Forget About Me." We did not play it for the Texas Hippie Show. We learned "When Worlds Collide" for that one.
That's right. Yeah. Power Man 5000. Yeah.
And that went good.
Yeah, it went over really well.
Sounded really good.
But the point of "Don't You Forget About Me" was just something stupid that could come along fast, and people are like, "Wow, I haven't heard that stupid song since The Breakfast Club." And we hoped we would be able to fade it out of the set eventually.
Okay. Is it?
No.
Well, people love it.
Yeah, you
People
guys
love it.
are stuck
People
with a good
demand it.
thing
They're like,
apparently.
Right. You know, it's
Playing
one.
that song, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
okay, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know why that's funny, man, but it just cracks me up because sometimes, like, you know, what the masses are feeling isn't necessarily what the musician is feeling.
Right.
But you still have to, like, scratch their itch a little bit.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So give them that little bit of scratchy.
I
You're like,
enjoy the hell playing out of that song.
Okay.
Great tune, and our version is actually my favorite version of it.
Oh, I bet.
That's even better when you can take a cover, make it your own,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
love playing it like it's your original.
Yeah.
Billy Idol did it as well. It was actually written for Billy Idol,
Okay.
and I guess he turned it down. But he released it later.
Turn it down, then release it later.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, oh damn, I should have done that sooner.
Right.
Yeah. But ours is more rockin'. It's a little heavy, but you know, it's not like thrash. You know, it's just a great
Right.
Just
version.
good old rock and roll, man.
Yeah, we actually have
Yeah.
a video of it on YouTube.
Oh, you do?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
We're going to check that out when we finish talking to all the folks from the band, for
Right.
sure. Because, I mean, you know, music is one of those things, like, you find a new musician, like, you pop the top on that cold one, and then all of a sudden you're enjoying, like, a nice beverage, and you want another glass.
Right.
You know? That's what's fun about finding underground stuff and musicians that are local, and because there's so much talent out there that is just, you know, overseen to a certain extent because it's not commercial enough or it doesn't sound, you know, tailored enough, but that doesn't mean that it's not amazing sound, you know?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that there's a saying like the best quarterback might be delivering pizzas right now, or the best race car driver is, you know, driving Uber. You know, a lot of these guys don't get a chance to showcase their talent. So it's like, man, when you can take the stage, that's just a fun feeling. You're putting it all out there. You know, not expecting anything either, right? This is just us. This is Sin on Six. We're jamming. We're having a good time. We have no expectations right now. That's such a cool feeling. You're not signed to a major label, as far as I know, so you don't have to tailor your stuff to. Oh, we need you to do this. Don't say that. That's where I don't like mainstream music. I feel like it really
Right.
puts such a damper on your creative abilities.
Right. Yeah.
It does, and it's crazy because we've shared the stage so far with, you know, our first show was with Great White, which was kind of odd, but it's funny because they are on a label and they have to play certain songs. They're expected to play certain songs, and then they also have to cut so many albums within
X amount of time.
Yeah, so you sign a 5-year deal, you have to have 2 albums, whatever. Or if you listen to some of the newer stuff that's come out, one of my favorite bands that have come out lately is Saul. And they didn't get picked up on their first EP. And then all of a sudden they put out a song called Brother, had over 1 million hits.
Wow.
Yeah. They didn't tailor it to anybody. And then all of a sudden they're signed to Spine Farm.
Yeah. Great band.
Yeah. And then there's a local band here that we've played out with called Bound by Years. Tight as fuck.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing band. Amazing metalcore band.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys have jammed with them?
Check them out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're friends of ours, and you're like, wow, you have not been signed yet. Like, what the fuck is happening? I mean, when you hear them, even when they're playing live, they're on point. You know, and it's amazing.
Wow, check that out.
Yeah. Shout
Yeah.
out to them.
Yeah, big shout out to them.
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, free plug. I mean, that's the beauty of this platform is like
There's room for everybody.
getting your voices heard, but also, I mean, that's my favorite thing. Okay, like because I used to do rap music. I used to make rap music and heavily pursue that, and I was faced with my peers in that industry, all the other rappers. Everyone thought they were better than everybody else. Like there wasn't that camaraderie of like, let's make this happen together. Like your flow is sick. Your flow is sick. It was like, nah, my flow's better than yours. This dude's whack. But it's so awesome because usually with music, that's my taste. Like that's the taste I got when I mess with the music industry. So I always feel like people want to put themselves on a pedestal above other musicians. So it's really refreshing to be sitting with y'all and you're talking about other metal bands and other rock bands that are killing it and doing the same thing and having that local love. Because like I think that's going to build a movement more than local hate is local love.
Absolutely.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
a lot of that here.
Yeah?
I mean, none of us are in competition with each other. There is so much love
Yeah, it's
right?
Oh yeah. I mean, when Randy and I got into our first bigger band together, it was called Broken, back in 2000, 2001. You felt a little bit of the competition, like, you know, you weren't as good as said band or this band. And you would have to like jump over these hurdles, scratch this guy's nuts, maybe put on some knee pads, do a reach around,
Put the lip balm on. And
you know, and then you'll be able to help load in their gear.
Okay.
You know,
Gotcha.
now it's
Yeah, we don't have that now.
right,
No.
and
It's all brotherhood, sisterhood.
yeah. I
Great
mean,
local scene.
Everybody's lifting each other up. You know, you'll come across the one or two douchebags. They're like, "Hey, look, I have an 8-string guitar. Yay for you, man!
Yeah, good for you.
You know, your band sounds tight as fuck. Yay! But you have like 5 people that come to your shows, and you're just a dick to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to see someone get pushed out in traffic, but if you accidentally slipped and fell, you know, no feelings lost here.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, I felt that way about people too. Like, and honestly, we all make our own beds. You know, at the beginning of the day, I hope you make your bed when you get out of it. Because if you don't, then you're slipping and falling. And I don't. Okay, so the whole analogy of this whole thing is what's the importance of making your bed in the morning? All right, and what it is that you get up, you make your bed. So that's one goal accomplished. You've already done that, and then you leave your house. You have the shittiest day possible. At least you come home to a made bed.
Yep.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, what's the old saying? You made your bed, now you got to lay in it.
Yeah.
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 Now we're getting a little bit philosophical. I feel like I don't even know if that's the right word, but when it ties into music, yeah, it's true, man. It's there's really no reason to compete. I don't feel like, you know, what are we competing for?
Right.
You know, why try to sling mud at another local band? And that's actually, to echo off what you guys said, the Denver music scene, what I've seen is the same we've seen in the podcast scene and the networking scene of everyone's trying to lift each other up. You know, not everybody. You're always going to have that one douche knocker,
Yeah.
but who cares?
Right.
For
You
the
know?
most part, this scene is really
it's-
supportive.
Very
Right, and it's
supportive.
just
That's encouraging.
music
Yeah.
in general. So, like, I'm a huge fan of Hazel Miller. If you haven't seen her, she will take your ass to church.
Hazel Miller.
Hazel Miller.
Oh, great vocalist.
Like, I'm telling
Holy
you.
crap.
Wow.
Very blues oriented.
Yeah. She's been around Denver forever.
Epic.
Like, amazing.
Kicks ass.
She's not to knock you down. You know, she'll even do a little shout out here and there. We played with a band called Team Force. And we're like, who the fuck are these guys? It's these 4 younger guys. All of a sudden, it looks like they're putting on a Magic Mike show, but they sound like a mix between the Beastie Boys and 303. And you're like, they're badass.
They brought it. We were not expecting that at all. It's like, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
They were kick ass.
The first impressions sometimes, you know, don't read a book by its cover, you know, until they go out and jam, right?
Right.
Like, look at
So,
these yahoos.
You're like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah,
And
we
they
didn't
brought it.
expect to
Yeah.
like them so much.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, these guys are great.
That's cool, man.
That's epic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so CJ, Randy, man, having you two come in and open up about Sin on Six a little bit, what got you into the music, I think that's what people really, really wanted to hear. I don't like cutting anybody short. I know Kevin and I could talk to just the two of you probably for a whole hour
Yeah,
and
this
a
is
half.
good, man.
You know, so this is
This could
really
be a
epic.
Rogan app, I feel like.
Yeah, we got to get the other boys in here though.
cool.
We did that timestamp.
and-
And what we'll do is we'll have you.
Ray
everyone
runs a
back
little
in.
short on stuff.
Oh, does he?
I think he's only 5'6", but no.
See, I love the casual jabs.
Yeah, Kevin and I are always making fun of each other.
All the time.
So,
But before you two,
yeah,
go ahead.
No,
Eric.
no, you.
I was gonna say before you two get off mic, anything that you want to say to the people?
Yes.
You know, direct before we bring in the next two fellas.
Shout out for Ground Zero Productions. Helped us out immensely. It's a new company. They're exploding. They're kicking ass. So many great bands are on their roster. We were actually their first band, and they're exploding.
Epic.
Just shout out for them.
Shout out.
And then also, we have a show coming up November 27th at the Gothic, which is a bucket list venue for us.
Absolutely.
Get to open up for Sebastian Bach, and for those of you that don't know who he is, he was the original singer for Skid Row. He's coming around doing his 30th anniversary of Slave to the Grind, which is their best album. And then after that, we have our first New Year's Eve show. I've never played on New Year's Eve. I don't think Randy has, unless it was with himself. And
You totally did that, Randy.
I totally did.
I did it too. Every year.
And that's at a place called the Venue. With Pretty Boy Floyd, and we learned something the last podcast we did. If you've heard of a band called Ugly Kid Joe, they got their name from making fun of Pretty Boy Floyd.
Okay.
That's kind of a cool story.
Right?
I'd like to hear more.
Yeah. So we have those 2 shows currently. And,
Excellent.
Looking
Another
for,
one's coming. We can't announce it yet.
Right, and then we have one in March
Hell yeah.
with Power Man 5000. So that'll be cool.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
That's epic.
You're
Finally. Hopefully
Yeah.
it'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's going to happen.
I hope so.
No,
It will.
You got to put it out there like it's happening.
It's gonna.
It is
happen.
going to
None of-
happen
none-
finally.
none of this-
After 3 times. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Third time's a charm. This is the
but
4th time.
COVID and
Yeah.
all that crap. So
Put a huge damper. But yeah, you guys are killing it, man. Keep it moving. So much fun. We're gonna get you guys back in with the
Yep.
rest of the crew once the next 2 boys come in. Hopefully they were wandering around.
I'm
before.
gonna throw a whiz.
Yeah, we can take an intermission
Well,
here.
Yes. So guests, listeners, we're probably going to be away for 3 minutes or so. So this is a perfect time for y'all to grab a beer, grab a drink, grab a snack. We're going to do a quick swap. And Randy, it was so great talking with you, getting to know
nice
you,
talking
man.
to you, man.
CJ,
Absolutely.
such a pleasure, man. You're going to
Thanks.
be back in here at the end of the show too.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
man.
this is
So-
really fun.
so
We're
are
having
you
a really
guys.
good time,
Thanks.
man.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
thanks
having us.
for being here for sure. We'll get you guys back on. We love to do repeat guests. So 6 months to a year from now, you're back in.
Sweet.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
all right, gents.
Quick 3-minute intermission.
3-minute intermission.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Peace out.
All right, man. Yeah, this is a good start so far.
Nice job, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Went by quick. We're already 37 minutes into this app.
Wow.
It does go by
Goes by
real
so quick.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll get all 4 of you guys in here after this.
Well, it kind of worked out that way because we talked about this as band space. That's why I flipped CJ off because we already had a setup. Like, those guys are the original.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying. We were pissing. We're like, it kind of worked out with the rock paper throws.
It really
and we
did.
we didn't even know that until we just they explained the story because they kind of set the ground for how Sin on Six started, and we learned a lot about the history of it, which was really cool, and then how you guys are integrated into it now. So, we'll ask similar questions, but the main reason is just to sit here, have a good time, drink some beer, and get some stuff out on the mics, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so now we have the lead singer, and we also have the bassist sitting with us from Sin on Six. Man, these guys are killing the game. We heard about all the shows that you have coming up with CJ and Randy, and just super excited to hear what you guys are doing. So, Ray, why don't you tell us a little bit, because I asked the other guys the same question. Why don't you tell us, when did you know that you had vocal talent? Like, when did you know that was something you wanted to do? Did you play instruments before? Like, what got you into music, man?
You're going to hate all these answers. I still don't know if I have vocal talent. I'm good at messing with people. And so, I always sang. I sang back in the day in the car with mom. I sang shower like everybody. Karaoke was something that kind of got thrown on me. I think I was 23. I went to a bar with some friends, and like that typical cliche group that goes up there where everybody's already hammered, nobody wants to sing alone. Went up there and sang like Wanted Dead or Alive or something like that with like 8 people.
Okay.
And they were so hammered, and I knew it by heart, and I'm just over there hammered, just eyes closed, going for it. Next thing I know, I'm the only one on stage. It's like, I want to do that again. I was like,
You got that little bit of a rush.
Just a
You
little
felt
bit.
you felt the eyes of the people counting on you for that moment of entertainment.
all 12 of them.
That's where it begins, man.
It makes an impact.
Sometimes it's better to have those 12 like loyal drunk people sit at the bar than a packed house that's not even paying attention, Because I can relate. The first time I sung was karaoke too, man. I remember same scenario, McCarthy's out in Aurora. First time I ever got on stage ever and sung. Similar. I think you were even there for that.
I was there for that.
Did a little country hee-haw.
Yeah.
And kind of similar to what you're saying. Everyone's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, keep it going, man.
That's epic, man. It's so cool to find that flame and then like pursue the light. You know what I'm saying? So Pete, we had you on way back, like two years ago or something. We had you on like episode 29 or something like that. and that was audio only. So now you can everyone
Now
can
the people
see
can see you,
Pete.
Pete.
Disappointment abounds.
I don't know. I think you're checking all the boxes, Pete. You know, you got the leather on, the hair's looking good. You got a cold beer in your hand. You're here.
The beer's a win. The jacket hides the dad bod.
Also a win. You look great, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. So Pete, you're a bassist. You got that. And what got you into playing guitar originally? Was it guitar originally?
No, it was bass. Bass was my first instrument I wanted to play.
Okay.
It was kind of band kid in school before that, so I had saxophone. But the instrument I wanted to play, the first thing what led me there actually is I found my dad's old bass.
Okay.
It was a knockoff Paul McCartney Beatle bass,
Okay.
and I got lucky when I was young and took to it. He let me continue playing with it. That's where that started.
Epic, man. I mean, because we all have our roots, man. Like, you can't just, like, we're all here today, and we have this perception of who we are now. But there's always a story of how we got here. Like, sometimes people, because I look at all you guys, like, I've listened to your music videos, I've listened to the songs and stuff, I've watched the music videos, listened to the songs, and it's really good. And from an outsider, it's like, man, these guys are killing it, you know, but it wasn't always like that. You know, like everybody has their story of how they got to where they are now.
See, it's like most of our friends are really into like the heavy, like, right, my dad. You know, I was like, what'd you say? You know, I'm like, I won't do that. I've gone up and had to make my dad jokes because we'll have all these like thrash metal bands and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't sing like that. And at 42 years old, I ain't trying to learn right now. If something comes out, it was an accident. I was like, "Brah." You know, I get something out there. I'm like, these kids are angry.
Sure.
Are we allowed to swear?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
I say fuck a lot.
And you should.
Please
you
do.
Should.
I say, so I'm going to make up for it with that. And I'll wear some weird stuff. Sometimes I'll go out there normal, semi-normal.
It's a sliding scale.
It's a sliding scale.
What is normal, though? You know, that's the question. What's normal? It's what's normal to you, right?
Yeah.
You're
just
being
like
yourself.
Dad just getting off work kind of a thing. You know, t-shirt, jeans. But most of the time I try to do something. You know, I do the hair.
It's loud, man.
Ball it
That's highlighter yellow. Is that
yeah.
what did they call that bleach when you got it? Was there a name for it?
Yeah, it's panic, whatever it's called. I don't know. Electric lizard or something like that. I know some of the guys know what it's called, but I'm like, I don't know. It's just a new color.
Well, one thing I wanted to have a gay bro moment with you when I first met you.
Randy told you I was gay.
In the other room, but hey, no, a happy bro moment, you know. But your beard is coming correct. You know, I just wanted to compliment that because I've been trying to step up my beard game. So I just had to put it out there.
I'm only about 2 months away from being a garden gnome.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, CJ's always like, shave it off. I'm like, just because you can't grow one doesn't mean I shouldn't.
Nah, it's looking good, man. It's coming in thick.
Comes in pretty good.
You know, you got your lines right. It's coming in nice.
Well, I appreciate that.
So
my driver's license
throws
throws everybody off.
Does it?
It's like, boom.
Oh, it's long like that.
see if
I've never grown it out that long.
I've had.
Let's take a look at that license.
Well, no, he has to hold.
feel
You have to cover the sensitive shit though.
Oh, that's true.
Just the
That's
picture.
true.
I don't have sensitive shit. I'm on Facebook.
Just the picture.
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah, it's yeah, we can see it. That's nice.
yeah, it looks
Yeah.
good.
I
looks
like
good.
it, man.
But I'm still only 5'6", so it looks a little weird after it gets a little long. I gotta wear my bulky clothes.
Garden gnome.
But hey, you own it.
Hard enough.
You own it. What about you, Pete? You ever grown a beard?
I've been working on this one since I was 16. How's it doing?
It looks great, Pete.
Awesome.
You passed CJ.
You would do a killer fucking mustache, bro.
You should rock that thing like a Jeff Foxworthy hitter.
Oh.
I can see that.
Let it go and have very thin curls at the end.
Oh, yeah. Or you
Exceedingly
can even wax
thin
twist.
curls. Yes.
And you might be a redneck.
I don't know. You were the one that brought the NASCAR flag to the old jam space,
I did.
Pete.
I did.
So
I might be a redneck. I have some redneck.
that upstate New Yorker.
Yep.
I feel you, brother. I feel you. But yeah, your other two bandmates were kind of telling us about your jam space and how cool it is.
Oh yeah.
We want to see it. It was an undisclosed location. They did not tell where it is, and we're going to keep it that way because that makes it even more
Pretty
fun.
much there. It's about the same size.
Is it?
That works great.
We got some pretty cool lights, but it's not much bigger than that.
But you can go there whenever you want, 24/7, create.
Oh yeah.
You know, from what it sounds like, what a great place to just get away. You know, go fucking jam. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to go create for a little bit.
It's kind of the grown-up toy box.
Love it. That's how I feel about coming here.
So we've got a futon in there now, so we just don't ask questions.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you walk in, you're like, okay, cool.
All right.
So how many members, we don't have to say who, but how many members, we got 4 of y'all, how many have slept on the futon?
Randy.
I think Randy.
I do believe CJ
Randy.
attested to that a little bit because he didn't necessarily call him out for that, but he said he stays there into the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, I know. The man puts his time in.
He does.
He
He gets to a point where he's feeling something and
uh-huh.
nobody questions what it is because anything could be creativity. But he's next thing you know, it's like I think I've only had a call after him twice. I think his mom's actually gotten a hold of us once
Mama was checking in?
on him. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Is he
I was
still
like,
okay?
He's fine. He's got it figured out. It's just
See, you know that the band is tight, the band is close when people know Mama.
Here's the funny thing. For 2+ years, I have actually never physically met her.
You've just talked to her on the phone?
No, actually, it's all Facebook.
Okay.
She just inboxes. She likes everything that we post. Very supportive. But no, but one time she actually messaged me on Facebook and she's like, "Have you seen Randy?" I was like, "Dude, this ain't even cool." I got a hold of CJ and I'm like, "Hey man, Mom's inboxing me on Facebook.
We need to tighten this
We
up.
need to
Where's he
find out."
at?
It's like at the
What's
time,
going
I
on
lived
here,
the closest.
bro?
I was like 15 minutes from the band space because I lived down in Parker. And so I drove over there. He was already gone. By the time I got over there, he's like, I'm already at work. I'm like, ass. Did you put a camera up there? Like, there he is. I'm at work. I'm good.
Well, Mama's checking in. You know, she's supporting the band, which is cool.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Hell yeah. So Pete, you're the newest member to the band. All right.
FNG, yes.
So
Fucking new guy.
fucking new guy. So because you guys were looking for a bassist. You found Pete. How many people was Pete competing with before you were like, he's the guy?
What, one?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, it was best of 2.
Yeah, it's best of 2.
Okay.
So you had a 50-50 shot, Pete.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
that Russian roulette, that's a lot.
Well, one thing I'll agree with Randy and CJ is that you're an epic bass player, and I played with you, so I can, say that because when you stepped into the Ridge Runners, I know we're going back before the Sin on 6 thing.
That was
man,
a fun group.
That was some of the most fun I've ever had for sure. I was talking about this earlier. I was trying to be a musician and just having a good time and sending it, and then Pete stepped in, and I was like, man, I am out of my fucking league. Playing with this guy.
I don't know how that goes because when I auditioned with these guys and they actually started playing live, because you got to think, what's my basis for comparison is singing in a car in a shower, little karaoke. When they fired it up, I was like,
I'm gonna interject here.
I can't do this.
This
Really?
is
Is that how you
totally a
felt?
faux
That's
pas.
exactly how I felt.
What the question you asked earlier is, everybody's got their backstory. I'm going to blow your backstory here because that's relevant to where you're going.
Oh, something's getting blown.
This guy has been in a grand total of 1 band.
Yeah, this is my only band I've ever been in.
Okay,
I got in it at 40-year-old virgin.
Hell yeah.
that's cool though, man.
And
Oh, it's freaking brilliant.
I like it karaoke, but it's, I give a lot of, it's not, I don't really consider it modesty. It's just how I think. It's like, people are like, are you in a band? No, I'm just here on Saturdays. It's like, you should be. I'm like, well, I appreciate that. But I also tried out for bands many times.
Yeah.
And it's hit or miss. Either I sang too pretty or sang too rough or it wasn't where, for like the better part of 20 years, pretty much got told no.
Wow.
So when these guys got a hold of me, I ignored that email for like 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah,
what? I
screw
got
this.
enough going on in my life right now. I don't need another no going on right now. So I don't know. Got off work one day and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't even tell my wife, which I tell her everything. I have to let her know when I'm wiping. I'm supposed to. I don't really do that. I don't really tell her much. I'm supposed to, but I went to the audition, and that's when they were like, CJ was very Mr. Business. Apparently, Randy was like, get this guy. for some glorified karaoke I'd recorded at my wife's former studio. And CJ's like, well, here's a book. Here's the playbook. You know, learn something. Come back. He came back. He's still like, we'll see. And they went out, and next thing you know, Randy and them were just like, give me till him. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're in. I'm like, really? But I told you, long story short, you know, I go in there and I'm like, I listen to all these guys that can scream. You know, I go to Slayer concerts. I go to Lamb of God concerts. I don't sing like that, but I love it. I love the energy.
Sure.
So I will always support these guys. Everybody's like, oh, they all sound the same. I was like, oh, yeah, but you know, it's the energy. It's consistent energy. Who cares how you look at it? I was like, then all of a sudden this guy comes up and goes, hey, fuck you. You like that, don't you? Yeah, you like the fuck. Like, what is wrong with him? I don't know. Just keep doing this. Okay. I don't know.
So I mean, so the main thing that I heard from that story is
Here we go.
is that
Your interpreter. Pay attention.
you hustled, you kept hustling, you had a goal in mind, you kept shooting for it. People kept denying you, and you just kept at it, and then it ended up happening.
Yeah.
By staying yourself. You weren't trying to.
No, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I showed up. I'm like, what are they going to do? Tell me no? Well, that's a first.
And that's a great mindset to be in, man, for sure. What's the worst that's going to happen? At least you're like, fuck it. I'll just go back to doing this or that. That's kind of how I felt, too, because I can relate to what you're saying. I'm not a great country singer. Pete, you heard me say that many times, you know, but we were always having a good time. And that's what we focused on, was enjoying our time. And we talked about it, too, with CJ and Randy, was just like, okay, we're not necessarily trying to compete. We're not the best drummers, singers, guitar players, but we're here, we're creating, and it sounds like you guys, the four of you guys, have found an epic dynamic, especially when it comes to what they were saying was the creative dynamic they all have. That's hard to find, and that's what we were all trying to capture with music.
Oh, yeah. It's funny, though, because if you actually ever come out to karaoke, which I still actively do.
I'll come out.
You should.
I'll come out.
You should.
I don't want to plug anything unless
Okay.
I'm allowed to.
You're allowed to
You
do
can plug
whatever.
stuff.
So my wife, Charlie, runs karaoke at Swig Tavern in Lakewood
Okay.
every Saturday night. Every Saturday night. That woman's got some pipes. And that's the one that worked for Intercom, which is now Audacity. But she now works for Rocky Mountain PBS. She's the operations manager for Kuvo Jazz and The Drop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's badass.
Okay.
So when she sings, I'm like, oh, why am I not on the floor looking up at you going, God, my wife's a rock star. She is a rock star. I'm like her biggest fan, you know. But I'm also her husband first, so usually I'm like, go away. To me. But no, you go out there, I'll sing Disney, I'll sing Sinatra, I'll sing country out my ass because I can. And people are out there like, hey, aren't you in that band? I'm like, yeah, but I'm off the clock. I always make a little smart ass comment like, you want to see me sing like I sing? You got to pay. It doesn't go to me, but you got to pay.
You should show up. For the record, dude can sing.
Oh, I have no doubt. Plus, the
Thanks,
one thing I will say, and I'm not going to put any names out there. Karaoke, everybody kind of gets an idea about karaoke, because my wife is in there, and she used to be a board op when she started. She will ride the shit out of the rails on her system to make sure you sound optimum.
That was a pretty epic plug. I think we pretty much have to go now.
No, doubt it. She'll give you all the reverb, all the delay. She'll back you off on your highs, mid. I mean,
She's working the board.
whatever language she speaks, this is some stuff I've heard, but I mean, she will make everybody sound the best they possibly can.
She's like a sound engineer.
And she's never worked a place where they've told her to turn it down. Well, okay, there was one, because that's where I got that voice. But
Okay.
no,
I'm in.
It's
Sign me
loud,
up.
It's epic.
Hell yeah, man.
Hey,
We'll
I'm
be
always-
there actually this Saturday night.
You're going to be there this Saturday?
I'm always up for a good karaoke event. I got to say, since we're talking karaoke, all right, I was in Fredericksburg, Texas for a wedding, and I just trying to find a random bar to go drink at before we go back to the Airbnb. And there's this fucking Velvet Lounge off the main street in Fredericksburg, and it's a karaoke bar. It's dedicated to karaoke. That's all they do. And we go in there and hang out. We're just chilling, and the wait staff were singing like they were doing it, but they were super talented. So it's and then you get other people that come up and they're like not so good, but like it's just crazy because karaoke, regardless if you sound great or not, like kudos to you for getting up there and having the confidence.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And see, like down here, it's like it's all about having fun. And if you heckle a singer, my wife will be in your ass.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big that bar is. She will beeline it to your ass and be like, "You quit being an ass."
Yeah. Like, are you up here singing? Are you up here putting it out on the line? Like, you know, and risking like your confidence and all this other stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like it's no joke. You know, getting in front of the stage and getting in front of people and performing and doing that, like you're putting a piece of yourself, of your own heart, your passion out there at that moment for people to judge.
Even if you're shit hammered.
You know?
Just like,
It's better if you're shit hammered. Because if you don't remember it, it didn't happen.
let's see, that's why, like, as a band, because like I said, we go through all these screaming bands and stuff like that. It's like, you know, thank God we're like at least second or third so people can get their drinks in. Oh, hell yeah, we sound fucking awesome out there. We don't bitch at the sound guy. We never bitch at the sound guy. Might make it look a dirty look once in a while, but we're like, dude, like, fuck it, you know.
Send it.
We're gonna go out there. We're gonna say this. It's like, you didn't like it. Oh, sorry. I was having a blast. You should have came up on stage, man.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, it's like, you know, if we get direct support, we've headlined 2 times, I think. Direct support or like third. Oh, it's perfect because everybody's fucking lit. Just like karaoke. It's like, oh yeah, I know it sounds fucking awesome. I don't remember the goddamn words and I wrote them, but.
Just go out there and own it. That's part of it too. It's just that stage presence. You know, if you look like you know what you're doing, people are like, "Oh yeah, look, that looks cool." Oh, yeah. It's always like, you know, when people go to karaoke and want to pick people apart, it's you know, the shy guy, he's singing in the corner, or somebody fucking up completely. But if you go out there and own it, even if you suck, you're still going to get that crowd response. But to echo your point, yeah, it's about having fun and enjoying your goddamn time. You know, that's why we're all creators. That's why we do what we do, because we love it. You know, we love fucking getting together, jamming, singing, putting it out there. That's part of it, is enjoying your time.
I told him, I said, he's been there for us. Like every show that we've had, if we really got back, somebody can pinpoint a major fuck up that we had. Like to us, it's a major fuck up. Mm-hmm. But we don't go, oh, hey, we got to start this over again. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I forgot lyrics to a song at our very first show, a couple of times actually. I threw Shawn off at, we have a buddy of ours that comes up and sings Fading with us because he just loves it so much. So we have him come up and we just volley the verses. And then I think at the Goose, I started doing the third verse. And so he went up there and he's like, and just kept going with the beat. And when we got done after, he goes, "Ray, I'm so sorry. I fucked up the song." I was like, "Oh, you didn't? I did." And he's like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, and that was it. I was like, I didn't even mention it after that. I was like, "Oh, you didn't? I did." I was like,
yeah, I mean,
whatever I say it is. I wrote
it's
it.
only it's only a fuck up when you let that mess up ruin the rest of your performance.
Right.
Like even me putting that sentence together, I was kind of struggling finding my words, but I still finished the sentence. So success.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. Like you can't let the stumble fumble ruin what is to come next.
See, I've actually learned to survive that from the guys that go out there and scream because if I forget my lyrics, I'm just like, there I am, da, 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 and they're like, yeah,
And no one picks up
I wrote
on it.
that.
No,
Yeah.
that's like one of the trade secrets of rock and roll, like it's a trade, is if you fuck up, wait till the verse comes back around and do the exact same thing again, and it looks like it was deliberate.
Absolutely. Yeah, because when you bring attention to it, if the band draws attention to it, the crowd's going to pick up on it.
Oh yeah.
So that's like one of those things. It's almost like it's hard to teach that. You guys just feel it. It's that energy, you know. We felt that, Pete. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. When we fuck up, you just own it, keep moving, roll with it, like you said. You know. Oh, I forgot because I forgot the lyrics many of times, and so I would just hum the fucking melody for a minute. It was like, oh, people are like, oh, that sounded great. It's like, yeah, but to me, it sounded like shit. But whatever. It's about owning it.
We're our own worst critics, and the more like leniency you could give yourself, then the better you're gonna be.
I think so.
yeah.
Regardless of what it is, singing,
Really?
you know, regardless.
Before or
grab a
after
beer.
it gets to public nudity?
Well, before Pete,
All right, just checking.
I mean, it depends what kind of beach you're on. Like if they allow that sort of thing over there, then you know. But no one should be doing the cockacopter in public, okay?
Oh, you didn't
No one should be
you didn't
doing
go to the
that.
mayor's show?
Oh,
That was epic.
oh, Jesus.
if anything, we need to shout out to old Maris the Great. We went to his show. I took my wife out there. I think most people were out there, and you know who Maris is. I would know. I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that. I just did, but
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
so look him up. Maris.
This is not a thing you can Google live, is it?
Well, we can Google Live.
No,
one's gonna
no,
say
I
it.
would
From a
not.
cell
I would-
phone, but yeah, let's skip it.
But long story short, he went out there, and I'm pretty sure that actually happened.
The cockacopter?
I would think so.
Now,
Everything else.
I want to make sure we're all on the same page of what a cockacopter is.
This actually happened?
Let's know what the cockacopter is.
So
we're here.
one whips out their schlong.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like the host was like, "Hey, whip out your dick if you want this prize," and dude was like, "Zoop." He was like, "All right, nice dick."
And then he
Just
then he spun it around like
well,
he was
that
going
guy
to take
didn't.
off with
that
it.
guy didn't. But I mean, if it didn't
If there was a
happen
place
that
where it
night,
could have happened.
oh, it's definitely. If it didn't happen, I mean, they have a landing pad for the cockacopter, so it had.
Okay.
It had
Place
many
ass
landing
cheeks here. You know, one of my boys actually got a little bit of air with his cockacopter once, but it was like half an inch, half an inch of air. Maybe that was the butt jump, but
Oh my!
Yeah, and so then this other one time, I don't know, man. But going off the rails.
I don't know how we go from cockacopter back to bass player.
Bass player,
Yeah.
yes.
So Pete,
bass player.
what would you say was? Did you ever have a moment when you were playing live where you felt like you had a moment? Do bass players get a chance to like solo freestyle like? You know, like the main guitarist.
These guys allow me so much grandstanding. It's embarrassing.
I'm his biggest advocate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not taking away from those guys, but I'm like, we need more songs where the bass is just prominent. I mean, it just. And of course, Randy, you know, because Randy goes, he'll do a 20-minute guitar solo. He can go shit. We can go outside and eat cake and fuck off, whatever we want to do, if that ever happens. But no, I when we get some songs where he's really got definite points, he stands out, and that's why I was like, you know, I don't know much about instruments, and you guys talk about everything, but when I heard Pete play, I was like, yeah, we need him. I can roll with that. I like that.
These guys flatter me. I use a lot of distortion on my bass, and it hides so many fuck ups.
But Pete, you just own it. And don't cut yourself short, man, because we all thought the same thing. When you tried out for the Ridge Runners, Jamie and I both were like, there's no way this guy's going to play with us. No fucking
Yeah,
way.
you're being humble right now,
He
man.
is. And that's why we love Screaming Pete, now known as Rusty Pete. That's a new term I've had to get used to. He was,
Yeah. So how
I
did Rusty
just gained
Pete?
another alias.
That's actually a great question.
Yeah, but you need
How did Rusty Pete come about?
Yeah.
He picked it.
I did. I'm absolutely adverse to Facebook. At some point during the process of getting in the band and learning the songs and really putting ourselves into gigging shape, these guys are awesome at it. It was decided that I should get a Facebook account. So
We have the cheerleader social media because we're all older, but honestly, when it comes to Facebook, like if Facebook, and this is just an analogy, I don't have sides. We're a very, very unbiased group. We don't get into religion. We don't get into sexual orientation, politics, anything.
That's the best.
But we do notice things.
Yeah, of
So
course.
we're like, oh, yeah, no, I can make a point with this. So for lack of a better analogy, if Facebook was a Democrat, that motherfucker's Ted Nugent. I
a great-
don't like it.
no, but it's an analogy, and I'll
just the
accept
tip,
it.
just the
Either way, point came down where I think it was CJ said, "Look, I'll make the account for you."
All right.
I said, and he said, "All right, well, I need a name for it." And a long time ago in another band with some other folks who I love very, very much, I had gained the nickname Rusty, and that's it comes up during good events in my life.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a fitting nickname then.
Yeah,
And you're okay with it.
I'm very good with that. And
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, we called you Screaming Pete and the Ridge Runners because, we all know how loud Pete is. He screams, man. He screams.
That's
does he
exactly
scream
my
when
Now I
reaction.
have two questions for.
You have the same question I do. Shoot.
No. I don't think this is the place to add. I just.
Oh, this is definitely the place.
I have it
Go ahead.
for somebody in particular. I'm not going there. I won't do that.
Fair enough.
I can drive a bus, but I ain't doing it right now.
Hey, that's fair. The only time I heard Screaming Pete scream was when he was talking about some New Yorker that got his fucking fingers stuck in a goddamn like
Truck door.
no a heavy like 1970s something big ass heavy door.
Is it that fucking Joey bag of donuts there?
It could have been.
Fucking cool, man.
Love it.
Man, nicknames are fun though. I kind of make fun of Kevin on a weekly basis.
Kind of.
I absolutely.
That's all
make
we do is talk shit to each
Yeah,
other.
so we do this promo clip once a week, and every time that I send the email with the MP3 so Kevin can do his work, I always change his name. And so I've like come up with Melvin Bathstone. I've done what were some of the other ones? Either way,
It's one ear out the other, Art. I don't look into that too much because I know you're full of shit.
making fun of your friends that you hang out with all the time.
Oh, yeah.
is a great pastime.
It's crucial.
I mean, it's like, what's up, asshole?
Hey, I'm not an asshole. You're a
Why you
chocolate
late?
star.
Why don't you ask your mom?
Hey,
I was
you
like, what the
Hey,
fuck?
wait. We said we were going to do this. We are going to hold you accountable. So you were the latest one that arrived tonight, and
Which is new, considering
and you are
CJ's
all
a king.
and apparently you're also the one that is usually the last
Latest
to
to
arrive
practice.
to practice.
That was according to CJ and Randy. I don't know if Pete's going to
No,
test to
look
that.
at Pete's face.
I'm going to back him up.
All right. And I'm also, I was the closest. Isn't that the way it works? I'm also the only Virgo. And we are natural procrastinators, according to the stars. We are in Colorado, I'm allowed to say that. I don't believe in any of that bullshit.
But you use that.
But it's food for thought.
No, I'm just using it as an excuse.
Hey, I'm giving you a hard
What do you
time
got?
because
What do you got? What do you got?
I feel I just did what I got.
What the fuck? I missed
It wasn't that good.
Look at
You,
that. It's
you could
another
probably
Bears
burn me
interview.
way better, bro. I'll take your burns. I'll take the burns. Oh. Because we're gonna come hang out in your practice room and
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we're
gonna
coming down there.
Yeah.
DCPC's
Well,
coming
the
in
only
there.
place you can sit is the futon.
Okay.
God knows what the fuck's happened on that thing.
There's probably some love stains on there that I'll ignore.
They're all Randy's.
They're okay. Boy, Randy's really getting called out here.
Hey, with a name like that, getting Randy,
Huh?
getting Randy.
That rowdy Randy?
It's an adjective and a proper noun.
You know what? You get a couple drinks and Randy, you get Randy all you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
see.
know.
He's like, wait, what?
Did you just make it into a verb too?
Oh, man. So I did see you guys open up for Texas Hippie. I was there at the Herman's show.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking blast. It was great to see you, Pete.
Thank
and so I'm going to tell the story on air, too.
Uh-oh.
The show was fantastic. I alluded to that when those guys were on. You guys crushed it. Fucking loved the energy. Pete, after you and I pieced out, there was a major wreck on Broadway.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to talk about what happened because I was one of the first on the scene. So I had parked just down the road. This truck comes fucking barreling. All I heard was just this scraping sound coming down Broadway. And I look back and I just see this explosion. This truck just goes up in flames. Dude, I have pictures of it. I'll show you guys when we're done. It was so fucking, because I was pretty buzzed up. We were drinking. We were having a good time. Fucking epic show. I'm like, yeah, I'm going home now. I'm done. I had a great night. I wasn't prepared for this activity to take place. And this man had wrecked. It was like a 74, I don't know if it was an old Ford or a Chevy pickup. It was an old rig. And this thing just came barreling through, dude, burst into flames. I mean, right in front of my fucking face, dude. I could feel the heat. I could still smell the fucking smells. It was incredible. And everybody was running out there, and it was one of those split-second decisions. What do I do? What do I do? Well, we got to go help this guy. And I just remember seeing this guy fall out of the top of his truck. He's crawling towards the sidewalk, towards Broadway. And I had my leather right here, and we just started trying to put him out, because he was burning, putting him out. By that point, somebody had a fire extinguisher. They came running in. It was a pretty intense scene, man. I'd never experienced something like that. I'd never experienced something like that. But I figured it was a good time to tell this story because it tied into the show that I watched you guys on. I don't know if the guy made it or not. I hope he did. It was a pretty serious wreck.
I hadn't heard anything, but I mean, I heard about the wreck. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I haven't heard any follow up. I do remember, I went outside a time or two during Texas Hippie, and the police had the whole block
Because that
Just
happened like
shut down.
while the Texas Hippie was
Yeah.
on stage.
Exactly.
And it just, and you know what? I got to be me. I'm so sorry. But see, everybody thinks I'm like heartless. I'm not. I'm just a realist. I'm just in the moment. But I hope that guy made it out all right. But I'm like, very much, that took all the thunder away because Texas Hippie did not stop playing.
Yeah, you're right.
They were very professional.
could
I
keep
know
hearing
if they were concerned if they would have known. And at the same time, I was like, we had our first mosh pit, and you see all these guys out there stopping things because people are getting hurt and stuff. And like, I didn't know anybody was getting hurt. I just knew it was our second song. I just assumed a fight broke out, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. Fuck each other up. I got shit to do. That's how that went. So I was like, oh, and then there was an accident. I was like, well, we're not going to top that. But no, a couple of people that played that night, actually, their cars got hit. They were out there doing stuff. I think my son and his buddy were out there. They filmed it, but I'm pretty sure the guy was okay. Still coherent because my son was actually like right up on it.
Sure.
When he came back, I was like, don't go out there and do that crap.
Right.
But
Yeah, I think he was okay. Yeah, it was one of those crazy things, man. It was like the first time I've ever seen something like that, live action. You know, you're leaving a show, you're feeling good, you're buzzed up, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? You see these flames shooting up. It was just nuts. But yeah, it did kind of pull away from the energy a little bit, probably from the venue. But I remember walking back into Herman's at one point to kind of regain what was going on, and Texas just kept it ripping. So you got to keep the show going.
they probably didn't even know what was happening. I mean,
Yeah, well,
They
exactly.
probably
I'm not
didn't.
sure anybody inside knew what was happening.
It was
which
only
is-
the
which is
folks
the amazing
outside.
part.
well, usually what you see on the sides is muffled. So you'll see a door move and people running outside. So you're like, oh, fuck, who's fighting? Oh, fuck,
Right,
who's
right.
eating? Oh,
Well,
fuck, who's puking on somebody's car?
Right.
There's a few different crowds at the show, right? And there's the frontliners who are right up against the stage, and they're not leaving while the band is on. Them fuckers, I bet, had no idea what the nuts was going on.
Probably not.
There's your midliners. These are the folks at the tables. They're in back. They're digging the band. They're hanging out. They're having drinks. A couple of them might leak out to the
scene.
the smoking area.
Yeah.
Right. To have a smoke. They probably had some clue that, I mean, at least when I went out there was police around. Nobody was talking about what was happening. It was just, hey, the block shut down. I thought, oh, it's a DUI check. They're waiting for people to leave, and they're going to pick them off. That was my first thought. So, all right, I'm hanging out for the evening. And I went back inside, and I heard nothing.
Yeah. They had all that cleaned up.
So,
Like, literally, there was so much going on while Texas was playing. And you just assume when you're inside, it's just a fight. Maybe there's somebody puking out, passing out. So I saw the footage like the next day. Other than my son coming in, he's like, "Oh, there was an accident." Like, you don't know much about it. Oh, two people.
Right.
So you see it the next day, you're like, how did all that happen? And you start thinking about how the world is like this stuff happens every day. It could be like right next to you. It's like, oh my God.
So true, man. Yeah, and that's exactly how I felt too. It was like, fuck, this is not something I've seen before. Kind of live action.
it's like a slice of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
These freaking Mad Max car wrecks out in front of a bar while the band rocks on. I mean, this is where we live right now. This is
But we're torn now because everybody's like, obviously we hope everybody's okay.
Sure.
Sorry everything's happened, but if you would have taken this back to the 80s or the early 90s, that's fucking metal. They'll shit you.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
For sure.
Oh,
For sure.
Because they're a bastard.
I mean, it's so
Yeah.
true, man. The times have changed, and it's going to continue to change. And as people that are entertainers and in the spotlight, we have this responsibility to project onto the people who follow us and are listeners to us, a sense of awareness. Like it's really important to, use the power that we have in the right ways. And I feel like you guys are doing similar things to that. Like how you're working out on doing the band a couple times a week. Like you go to practice, like, you're putting it out there for the right reasons and creating music that, can help the people move a little bit, man. And so we're going to get the entire crew in here, but before we're done talking to you two, Is there anything specific that you kind of want to put out there for people to know specifically coming up or personally, anything that's going on?
Specifically coming up is Gothic show.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise.
They said that the two before said that was like a checklist, like
Yes.
one of the,
Yeah. They talked about the bucket list.
yeah, the bucket list item.
Is it the 27th?
Yeah, at
Okay.
the Gothic.
Yep.
And one thing we'll make sure to do for you guys is everything that we talk about and promote will be in the show notes below. So for the viewers on YouTube, just go down below, check these guys out. We'll make sure to make it real easy to find you, But that said, I mean, before we wrap up with all four of you, what do you guys want to say to the people?
Well, shit, you know what? I'm gonna.
Damn, that's
My 5-year anniversary is coming up on Sunday, so maybe I'll tell the people the same thing I'm gonna tell my wife on Sunday. Y'all fucking nuts following this shit. I love the fuck out of you, but what the fuck? Do you know me? How? No, seriously, but we love the hell out of you guys. I mean, I think the greatest compliment I ever heard was, "You're different."
Yes.
I was like
it.
Well, and so I've tried not to nitpick on anything that we do wrong. Like, we always have a hiccup at a show, so now it's just kind of like a tradition. We'll talk about it, but I mean, it's like, yeah, we don't care like we used to, It's like, we don't sound like everybody else. I don't know what the fuck we sound like, but people like us. We did this with the Maris thing. It's like, we don't know what genre we're in. We're just sitting on six. We're a bunch of guys that are getting together, just having a good fucking time. We don't give a fuck.
Was that a band called us Dad Metal?
I like that.
Dad
rock.
metal?
Dad rock. It was dad rock.
Was it Dad Rock?
It's
We didn't
dad
even make
rock.
metal.
We're dad rock.
I could have sworn it was Dad Metal.
Yeah, that's cool. I understand that, sweetheart. You know what? When I drop you off at your house tomorrow, tell your dad, "Hey, dude, see you at the reunion."
Love it.
That is epic. That's epic, man. Well, it's so awesome to get the singer in here, bass player in here. Man, you guys fucking kill it. I know it's not easy to show up every single week and have that commitment. You guys show up multiple times a week and have that commitment. And I just work with Kevin. You two are working with four. But you got 3 people that you have to coordinate with. So there's 4 total. And it's just, to be able to find each other. Like, I think if y'all aren't thinking about this, I'm going to put it in your head. Y'all are fortunate to have found each other, because the creative gene that is similar between, and what I've heard and how you guys create and come up with and get it together, you're so fortunate to have found, everybody that's in the group.
Honestly, we all have stuff that any one of us could probably roll our eyes and go, oh, fuck. Like, could be somebody's schedule, could be somebody's what the fuck ever, but we all make it work. None of us are like, here we go again, CJ has this, or here we go again, Ray has this, or here we go again, Pete has that. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We're like, it is what it is. We'll fucking figure it out.
Hell yeah.
You nailed it. Everybody's got their bit in this outfit, and I think that's exactly why it works.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. And on that note, we're gonna bring in everybody in here. Get a quick video of all of Sin on 6 up in DCPC Studios.
They're rolling.
Yeah, we're going to keep them rolling.
Hey, fuckers, get in here! I never got to be a singer before. That's the one time I get to be a diva.
Man, we got Sin on 6 in here, man. Kevin and I are super stoked to have all these boys in here. They're killing the fucking local rock/metal scene, and we are just so happy that we could talk to all y'all. Anything you have to say?
No pressure.
You really want me to do this?
Yep.
Hi, Mom. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck you. No, but everybody else, we love you guys.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks for having us in here. We just love doing what we're doing. It's all about having fun, kicking ass, enjoying each other's company. That's about the end of it, man. I mean, that's
November 27th at the Gothic Theater. We're
Yes.
opening for Sebastian fucking Bach.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
Go.
Hell yeah, that's exciting, guys. Man, you guys got some good shit lined up that could close out the year strong. I know you got some shows coming up into 2022 as well. And we're going to include everything Sin on 6 in the show notes down below. Fuck you. awesome episode, guys. Thanks for
Yes,
being
thank
here.
you, guys.
Love drinking beers
Fuck
with you guys.
Appreciate it.
This is good stuff, man.
By
This
the
is
way,
Denver
we do
rock and
have-
roll.
We do have new material coming out. We just keep getting shows.
Okay,
But we are ready.
But they are coming.
They are coming.
They are coming.
They are coming.
so stay tuned, is what you're saying.
Yes.
New material is coming from Sin on 6, and when it does, we'll be sure to post it.
Absolutely. We're super excited for all you guys. All listeners, check out Sin on 6. They're killing the game. They're doing things that are unique, and we love you guys.
Be good to yourselves. You deserve it.
Yes.